I don't know how you... How am I gonna go the rest of my life like this?
We are going to be talking about the epidemic of singleness. But what is really intriguing about today's video is Black females are starting to see the reality of it. But let's see where they were at first.
There are an increasingly large number of women who are just choosing not to get married. And
for the very last time, we are not having a mating crisis. What's happening is that women have access to information and education in ways that they didn't have in previous generations. We can now share stories and choose the bear. We can now own homes, open bank accounts. We know that. And we're not hypergamous as in we mate upwards. It was a necessity because we were blocked from owning things. You centralized through patriarchy the only access to independence and some form of survival and wealth into men, forcing women to have to choose. And as soon as we dismantled parts of the patriarchy to allow access to education, employment, financial stability independently, we exercised our choice. It is not a crisis, it's a liberation.
Regardless of the fact that there is proof that there is going to be a high percentage of Black females who are not going to be married and childless, they were still in denial and chose the bear. But let's see what they're starting to see today.
Where are the men? I love us women, but I'm tired of going to events and it's 1,000,001 girls and there's 2 men in the corner. Men, y'all don't want to leave your houses no more? What y'all doing? Y'all, we say we over the apps, but y'all sure not outside.
I guess it's becoming quite evident that men are slowly no longer being interested in pursuing any type of relationship with Black female. They all thought that they could be able to manifest the dream man and the dream lifestyle they all thought they deserved.
And I don't know if y'all saw, I forget the name of the church. It was Union City or something church in Maryland, in that area. And they had a singles conference. And it was the line of single people was wrapped around the block. It was you would have thought Beyonce was in there. It was jam-packed. So I'm all these single people looking for love, looking for relation. Something is going wrong. Something is going on. It can't be all of these single people and they're just... all of these single people, it can't be something wrong with them individually. There is just something going on in culture. There is something going on in society where people are just... I don't know, not genuine. People don't desire long-term relationships, marriages. It's a single epidemic. It's a single pandemic. There's something going on. And I really hope that we get to the bottom of it soon. Because it feels good to be wow, okay, it's not just me. It's a lot of other people who are single, who are Christian, who value relationship, who still want the fairy tale ending, quote unquote. And then the other part of me is damn. If it's 200 single women at the conference and I'm 201, am I ever gonna get a man if the line in front of me has 200 other people also waiting for a man?
Under that same video, someone commented, everyone thinks they're just a DM away from dating an IG baddie or a 6.8 billionaire. Now, the female, she has something to say about that and what she really thinks.
My thing is, I'm not looking for a 6'8" billionaire. I'm just looking for someone who wants the same things in life that I want, really. A lot of guys that I've recently been interacting with, talking to, they're not looking for anything serious. Everyone has their different reasons, but most of them, the last 3 or 4 guys that I've encountered who asked me out on a date, who got my phone number, whatever, it usually doesn't go far because they're not looking for anything serious. And I am. I want to be in a relationship. I want to get married. And eventually I want to have kids. I want to be a mother. I had a guy tell me he was in an open situationship or something. I don't even know what that is. Another guy, he said he didn't want kids. You're done. I want kids. This is never going to work out. Another guy told me, he's only looking to, hump around. I said, oh, I don't want to hump. And he said, okay, I understand. I said, yeah, thank you for understanding. That was the end of that conversation. So the issue I'm having is not about money or physical things or tangible things. It's about, do our values align?
Listening to what black females are saying and have said, it's quite clear they're delusional and they're not actually looking at what is happening and actually taking in that these are the choices that you've made that have put you here today.
One thing that I really wanted to talk about is this new term that I've recently discovered on TikTok called chronic singleness. So chronic singleness is basically people who haven't been in relationships for an extended period of time or have never been in relationships. I've only been in one relationship, and that was about 7 or 8 years ago. And I moved to New York for my career. I took maybe a good 2 years of just focusing on my career, and then I started to date and try to, meet somebody. And my experiences so far have not been very positive. I've been challenged, I've been hurt, I've been disappointed, I've been confused. Some people will be like, oh my God, but you live in New York City. There's so many people. There's so much competition. What would my life look like if I were to not get married or have kids? And this is probably the first time in my entire life where I have seriously wondered what my life is going to look like if I don't get married or have kids. Even though that's what I really, really would want. But the way the dating scene is and how I've found it very difficult to meet someone decent or someone who has similar values than me. And if you hear a noise, it's basically my little dog here. But yeah, so I am not one of those women who have crazy expectations. I'm very realistic. I'm very realistic on what I want in a partner and what to expect in people. But it's been a very hard 7 years. I'm not gonna lie. I have not enjoyed the majority of my 7 years being single. Yeah, I mean, chronic singleness has affected me greatly, has affected my perception of myself, my confidence, my self-esteem. And this year, I just really want to take the time to figure out who I will be if I never meet that person, and trying to accept that, what, it might not be the end of the world.
I feel like I'm dying from touch starvation. I feel like if I were to get the kind of hug that I really want, I would crumble into pieces. I don't get hugs. It is. It could be maybe a hello, whatever, maybe. But it's not enough. I don't know how you. How am I gonna go the rest of my life like this? I think that's really hard. I'm just really struggling. I'm really struggling. I spent last night just going like this. Like 20 minutes?
I'm single again. I've already done my crying. I've already gone through the whole feeling like I need to be like the best version of myself, you know, really level up. But like, what if I'm just too damaged? Like, what if the trauma that's happened is just too much for me to love or be loved?
So when we really look at black females and this whole crisis, mating crisis, that black females have been in denial about, but we are 5 years away from 2030 and what that is looking like. And what that looks like is a queue of 201 females that are single. Events where men are no longer interested in going to. Black females no longer being able to deal with the loneliness and the chronic singleness that they're experiencing. Every black female always says that it's a choice, or the type of people that they're meeting don't align with the values that they have or the standards, or just never take them serious. And I think that's something that black men have been talking about for the longest. And not just black men, even Karen Samuels, he said these stats way before we're starting to see it happen today. And what that lets me know is black females, they're so hard-headed in their own mindset and what they think is right, that they chose to put their head in the sand and listen to no one. And now they're actually dealing with the consequences, let alone the repercussions. And all this just shows is that the answers are there. The answers have always been there. But black females have a problem with authority. And they do not like authority. They do not like to listen to black men. So they're finding out the hard way what the effects of that is. The expectations that they have, no man wants to meet it, and no man is going to meet those expectations. The options that they say they have, it's quite clear that those options do not exist.